Hey guys, welcome back to another video where we will look at the automated package deployment app which is now available in AgilePoint App Store. A couple of weeks back, we announced the package manager feature using which you can now move apps and pages along with its dependencies in bulk from one environment to other. Today, we are taking it up a notch higher by introducing an app in the App Store which can be used by configuration management teams to introduce an approval step before packages are deployed. This app template can be downloaded from the store and used as is, or you can make changes as per your organization policies on top of the base app. For customers who wish to build their own deployment pipelines, the package manager functionality is also exposed as a REST API. Let's look at how to add the app and configure it for your environment. So I'm in my AgilePoint portal right now, and I'm going to navigate to App Store and search an app called Package Migration. Tells you details about this app package. You can look at the screenshots, you can read the details. This app supports AgilePoint NX version 9 and above only. I'm going to go ahead and click Add, trust it. The app got added to my environment. So if I go back, go to App Builder, All Apps, you'll see a new app called Automated Package Deployment. I'm going to drill down into this app. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the process model. I'll quickly walk you through the logic over here. So somebody comes in and submits the request to move the app package, goes for approval. There can be a rework, which can come back to the approval, configuration management team in this case. Once it has been approved, there are three different parallel paths, whether I'm moving from dev to production or dev to staging or staging to production. It handles all three scenarios. So corresponding branch would be invoked. It also handles setting up app permissions. There are new activities within the AgilePoint NX stencil you'll find for export import package as well as updating permissions. So you can look at those. So if I selected staging environment as my target environment, it is going to set app permission, data entity permission, page permission in those environments. If I selected production, it is going to through the similar logic in production as well. At the end, it is going to send out a confirmation email. If I didn't include any custom instructions, it is going to just send a success email. If I ask for some custom steps to be performed after the app is deployed, an email will be sent out to the corresponding people with that information. And right at the end, we are going to create an audit record in a data entity so that you can always see what kind of request was raised by whom and when it was moved from which environment to which environment. So if I navigate quickly to data entity, there's a new entity you will find over here, package deployment audit log, which got deployed as soon as I added it from the store. And those are the fields which are available. I'm going to go back to App Builder. There are a few changes as per your environment which you have to do before you start using the app. The first thing would be to modify some of the access tokens to point to your environment. Now the app by default supports dev, staging and production. However, for today's demo, I'm going to only modify dev and production access tokens. Staging access tokens can be modified similar to what you do with the production access tokens. There are two access tokens for dev environment. One is an AgilePoint NX token, another one is a REST API token. So I'm going to go ahead and click on development access token. Point it to my development environment. Okay, so you can change the URL, provide your development environment credentials. Now this should be an account which has higher privileges in the environment because it will be downloading and packaging apps, data entities, page builder and all the corresponding dependencies. Enter my password, click generate and click test connection. Now the connection has been tested successfully. I'm going to go ahead and click update. Similarly, I'm going to modify the other REST API token. Again, change my URL in this case. Click configure. Specify my username along with the domain. Click generate, insert, and click test connection. The connection is successful. I'm going to go ahead and click update. Now I'm going to do a similar process for the production access token. So there is an AgilePoint NX token called production access token, which I'm going to modify. I'm going to provide my other environment, the production access token credentials. Click generate. Test connection. The connection is successful. I'm going to go ahead and click update. Now there are three REST API tokens for production environment: get production user email, get production groups, and get production users. So I'm going to modify them one by one. Now the last access token I'm going to modify is we are going to use a document repository to temporarily keep that package which is being exported and imported from one environment to another. By default, the app is configured to use a OneDrive document repository. You can always use your own as well. I'm going to go ahead and modify this. I'm going to put my client ID client secret. Go ahead and click get OAuth2 access token. So I got back my OAuth2 access token, which I've configured to renew every 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and click update. So those are as far as the access tokens are concerned. If you are also using staging environment, you can go ahead and change the for staging environment tokens as well. Now the other thing which you need to change is one of the lookups. So if you drill down into processes, package, lookups, so you're going to look for app existing package lookup. Point it to your dev environment. I'm going to delete the current authorization header and add one more. I'm going to go ahead and click generate, insert, finish. So my app is now ready to be consumed. So I'm going to go ahead and select it, publish it. So I'm going to check in all the files, click publish app, and we'll launch the app. So by default, it populates the requester information. I'm going to enter a dummy phone number. For source environment, I'm going to select development. For target environment, I'm going to select production. It will list down all the packages in the source environment. The package I'm going to work today with is travel reimbursement package. If you want to see what's there in that package, if I go to package manager, there's one app, one entity, and one custom page called furniture store. I'm going to say allow publish on import. Because this app package has app, entity, and pages, this section is dynamic. It brings up a dynamic section saying, do you want to assign any permissions for apps, data, entity, and pages? I'm going to select yes. If there are any custom instructions you want to include, you can include it. It is a rich text editor, so you can put all the formatted text you want. I'm going to just write this as a demo. If you want to notify anyone other than the admin when this app is being deployed, you can go ahead and select it. It will list down the users from your production environment. So I'm going to say notify test user 1 as well. Click next. Now, because I mentioned I want to set up app permission, those sections started appearing as well. So what I can do is I can specify who can initiate these apps. I can say allow all users to use this because it's a company level app. For app designers, I can say maybe a specific user has app designer privileges, or I can assign it to a group. I'm going to select a group. And similarly for report viewer as well, I can select a user or group. There can be multiple of these. Next, I'm going to go to data entity. I'm going to give a group access to data entity as a designer. And for runtime, I'm going to say let all users use it. Similarly for page, I'm going to let all users use the page, but for designer, I'm going to assign it to a group. Again, it could be a user as well. And at the end, I can specify any additional comments I want. So I'm going to say, please approve, and go ahead and click submit. If I go to Work Center, by default, it is going to assign the task to me itself. You'll have to make that change in your process model to point it to your configuration management group. So if I go over here, click task, bring up the process viewer, you'll see that the request got submitted, and right now it is sitting with me, the process initiator itself. Now, typically, as I mentioned, for this step, you are going to change the process model to point to your configuration management group. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. I can see all the information which was entered as read only. And at the end, I can say, please approve this app. I'm going to say yes, approved, and click submit. If I stay on the process viewer, you can see all the deployment taking place. So the app has been exported from the environment, imported into my target environment, and all the app permission, because I selected the production as the target environment, all the app permissions have been set up as well. And because I included custom instructions, it sent out an email with custom instructions and created an audit record. If I go to data entity, click on data, you can see an audit record has been created for that particular app instance. Now, if I go back to my email, you can see I received an email along with the custom instructions. Now, let's look at what happened in the target environment. So I'm going to log out, log in with the other user credentials to my target environment, which is production. If I go to App Builder, all apps, the travel reimbursement app is now present over here. And if I go to Page Builder, Page Designer, you can see that the furniture store page also got moved. And if you look at the app permissions, you can see that the various permissions were set as well. If I go to Page Designer, I got the travel group in here as well. So with this, we come to the end of this video. Using this app from the App Store, you can quickly configure your app deployment policies for your organization. You can add as many approval steps as you want or as many environments as you want. Thanks a lot for your time.